Hello folks, I'm Ron, your host and editor of Learning Moments. Welcome. Learning Moments is created to help everyone understand substance and mental health disorders. Today, I want to talk about something deeply personal and profoundly difficult. It affects tens of thousands of families across Canada. That is addiction, or more inclusively, we call it substance use disorders. And particularly I wanted to talk about what happens when it enters your life and your family. When someone in your family starts using illicit substances, it can feel like an earthquake has hit your home. Trust cracks, life feels unstable. And here's the hard truth. Unlike a real earthquake, this one doesn't end in a few seconds. Addiction is often going to last for decades and sometimes a lifetime. Families are dragged along, struggling to survive this storm. I know this is heavy. This has touched my own family. In addition, I've spoken with hundreds of families about this. Having a loved one with a substance disorder can strain marriages. It can pull families apart and make you question your own sanity. But there are ways to survive, ways to support your loved one, and ways to protect yourself while navigating the storm. So addiction is really basically a family illness. Although it affects an individual the most, it is going to affect the family as well. Drug addiction is a long-term illness. A person continues using substances even when it harms themselves or those around them. The impact goes far beyond the individual. It touches everyone emotionally, mentally, and financially. In Canada, illegal drugs cost billions every year. 7.1 billion for opiates and 4.2 billion for cocaine alone. But the personal cost to families, the emotional trauma, the fractured trust, the sleepless nights, that's impossible to fully measure. Families face addiction often go through stages similar to grief. Knowing them can help you cope. Let's go through them. Number one is denial. We all start pretending that it just doesn't exist. You may ignore warning signs, hoping things are just a phase. Short-term comfort comes at the cost of delayed help. Number two is anger. The thunder rolls in. Anger shows up directed at the loved one, at yourself even, or even outsiders. Arguments escalate. Marriages may fray. Bargaining is number three, and that's when we try to make a deal. You might try promises or conditions and hoping they will quit. Addiction is often stronger than simple needs, and bargaining almost never works. Number four is depression. That's when the sun disappears. Sadness and hopelessness can take over. Families may withdraw from each other and life itself. Number five is acceptance. That's when we begin to build a shelter around ourselves. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means facing reality, setting boundaries for your own health, and hopefully finding treatment for your loved one, and seeking support for yourself and your family. Number six is guilt, because guilt will carry along through all of this. It's looking back with, what if I had done something different? Family members often blame themselves for what went wrong. Number seven is fear, living with constant worry. Worry about overdose, worry about arrest or judgment from others, other family members, neighbors, or the community itself. This isolates families even further. Number eight is hope in action, planting seeds for recovery. With acceptance comes hope, and families can learn about addiction. They can join support groups like Mom Stop the Harm Holding Hope, and they can encourage recovery for the loved one that's suffering while protecting their own well-being. Number nine is relapse and recycling of emotions. So recovery is rarely linear. It doesn't happen that way. It's not like, oh, we got sick, we got medicine, and we got better. Relapse is common with substance disorders. In fact, that cycle is going to happen probably more times than you can count on one hand. So you need to expect it. It's not going to just be a cure and then they can move on with life. Almost always relapse is part of the journey. Number 10 is self-care. Putting on your own oxygen mask first, and we've all seen that in airplanes. But that's important. You need to take care of yourself. It's not being selfish. Boundaries, rest, and your own support network are essential to avoid burnout. And you're not of any use to anybody if you can't be, in their part of the journey to help them and support them. So addiction changes everything. It breaks family bonds, trust breaks, roles shift, life becomes unpredictable. It affects mental health in the entire family. Shame, guilt, and resentment can be overwhelming. And it certainly affects communication. So people avoid conversations about addiction. That often makes things worse. And then we have barriers like stigma and financial cost, and misunderstanding of relapse makes it even harder to get help. So let's talk about some healthy coping, things like therapy, learning about addiction, joining support groups, and setting boundaries. Here are some ideas for you. So spot and look for the signs early. And when you see them, seek professional help. Join support groups. Learn about addiction. Set boundaries. Take care of yourself. Expect relapse. And advocate for your loved one without losing yourself. And here's some unhealthy coping strategies that are not helpful or useful. Enabling the person to continue to use drugs. Constant blaming. Or cutting off all communications. So support works. Programs and peer support groups reduce stress. They help prevent relapse. And they bring hope through lived experience. There are digital tools and recovery schools. These also make a real difference in the journey. Recovery and healing time takes effort and teamwork. There will be sunny days and there will be stormy days. But while we breathe, there is hope. With the right support, families can keep moving forward. As one study put it, recovery is about, and I quote here, a sense of belonging, of leading a meaningful life, of having hope and positive identity, unquote. So hold on to that hope, protect yourself, and remember, you are not alone. So, wrapping up, this video is a companion piece to our written article titled When Family Love Faces Addiction. You can find this and more articles, videos, and resources on Learning Moments, and that's at Learning Moments, all one word, .substack.com. While you're there, subscribe, and Learning Moments will drop into your email in basket every week. If today's learning moment resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And thanks for joining me today. And remember, change begins when we start talking. Until next time, stay informed, stay connected, and be kind. Thank you.